Welcome back to Drip Music X. We got Fresh Bueller in the house and Real Stash Stays. How y'all boys doing tonight?
Good, man. How about you?
I'm good.
What's going on?
And then
Fucking awesome. Awesome night, man. I'm looking forward to it.
and introduce our guest, Stash. Who do we got with us tonight?
Yeah, tonight we have the pleasure of having Trent Noll, who is the guitar player for Ted Polly, who was the lead singer of Danger Danger back in the 80s glam metal. And he's the lead singer of Leadfoot. Welcome, Trent.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thanks for being here.
I don't know if, Fresh, you want to start with how we came to connect with Trent and show the post that I saw and what made me reach out to him. You kind of start there.
Sure. So here's that post. Can you see it?
Yep.
Yeah, he says, from bar rooms to big stages, I've always believed I was going to make it somehow. Most people will settle or think it's not coming. Take your craft seriously. Push yourself further than your mind will let you. Push your image and your talents to the right people, and the rest will fall into place. Never stop learning. Never stop working. Never stop dreaming. And that slapped me across the face. I said, absolutely. I reached out, and you were super excited to be a part of this. So thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. No, thank you, guys.
I don't know if you wanted to start back at the beginning and what happened and how you fell in love with the guitar. Because I've listened to a bunch of your playing stuff, and it's amazing.
Thank you. So basically, I started out on piano around 8 or 9, and it was something I didn't take seriously, but I could read music because of it, which was great. And around the age of like 11 or 12, there was a guitar shop that opened up in my town. My dad took me in, just got me something and started getting me lessons. And, I don't know if you can see much behind me, but I'm a huge Kiss fan. So, I started growing up on that kind of stuff and just started loving music because of it. And I became a huge fan. And probably around the age of 13 or 14, my dad got me the Ozzy Randy Rhoads tribute album. And from there, hearing that album, that was hearing Randy Rhoads play was the moment where I decided, that's exactly what I want to do. I spend my nights as a teenager out partying and going out things. I was locked away in my bedroom with a guitar all night long, just playing and falling in love with it, and just playing throughout band, throughout my teenage years and my teens, and playing in bar rooms and everything. And I played those gigs for 5 people, 10 people, and just having a real good time with that, and just haven't stopped touching it and playing it since.
That's awesome.
So you started off. Well, let's start with the first band you was in. Was that 1 Inch Gap, or is 1 Inch Gap?
Yes.
A little bit after. So it was okay. Awesome.
How old were you when you?
Yeah, that was 1 Inch Gap.
Got into that.
17, and they were substantially a little bit older than me. They were in their early 30s, mid 30s, somewhere around there. And thankfully, a friend of mine, he reached out to me and said, hey, these guys are looking for a guitar player. The music they do kind of fits your style. I always loved the glam eras, the 90s, 70s, just about anything. And, when they reached out, they said, you're going to be starting out. I started playing out with them officially on my 18th birthday. So that was kind of cool. And
where was that?
That was a good time. That was in Pottsville, Pennsylvania, up here where I live around. So we played mostly around there and just around the area and stuff, and a lot of friends that I knew that would just always come and have a good time with us, and it was a really good learning experience. You know, I got into a band where these guys have been playing for quite a while, just on the local scene, and it gave me a perspective of what I should be looking into, what I should be doing, how I should be carrying myself, how I should be crafting talent. It was a neat experience, an absolute neat experience, and something that I look on now. If I wouldn't have did that with those guys, you know, where'd I be today? Which is really neat.
That's awesome that they did that for you.
Yeah, and I'm still pretty very well close to those guys. You know, that was real taste of actually playing in a band and playing in front of people and getting to be a performer and just showing off, you know, just having fun playing covers. And like I said, those are shows where it's, you know, some nights it'd be 100 people in a bar room, some nights it would be 10 to 15 people, but it didn't matter. You know, it was always just a good time, just being able to play out and just being in front of people.
Now that name, 1 Inch Gap, there's a story behind that name. I don't know if it's a very funny story from what you were saying, but I love that name, 1 Inch Gap. That's hilarious.
So they came up with the name before I joined the band. They had it going for probably a good 3 or 4 years before I came in, and eventually I sat down with our singer Jesse at the time and said, you know, what made you come up with that kind of name? And he's like, you know, it's taken from an old Steven Tyler interview where he was talking to someone and he said the term 1 inch gap, and the guy goes, you know, what does that mean? What's a 1 inch gap? And sorry to anybody out there who's listening to this that I know, like people in my family and whatnot, but Steven Tyler said, you know, 1 inch gap is when you can take 3 fingers, turn them sideways, and stick them right in. Like, oh man, so that kind of stuck, and it's always a great icebreaker story to get and make people laugh and have a good time.
Yeah,
That's funny.
That's a great story behind that name.
We've had some amazing band names.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. But I think, you know, the rock scene, the heavy metal scene, and just all the rock and roll, they usually have a lot better names than everybody else. You know, you don't hear a country music band where you're like, I love that name. That was so neat how they come up with that.
It's usually like rap. It's somebody's name, and
yeah, or it's a crazy. I don't know. Nowadays, rap the names have gotten so long.
Right?
Yeah, short. Right, exactly.
Now it's a 2-paragraph name. Ridiculous.
So, from 1 Inch Gap, where did you go? What did you do? What was your journey like?
So when that band came to an end, I moved away for a little while. I lived in Austin, Texas for a good couple of months, just trying to find my feet. You know, I wanted to get out and see what the world looked like instead of just in a local sense, which was nice. It gave me a good perspective on a lot of things to look forward to in life. So when I came home, I had a buddy contact me, and another local band. They were looking for a lead guitar player and somebody to sing, and that was Fallen Pride. So I was with them for a couple of years, and that actually helped me find my voice, which was great. You know, with 1 Inch Gap, I really didn't sing much. You know, a few backups here and there, but I wasn't looking at myself as a singer. But this band, you know, Fallen Pride, they needed a singer predominantly. You know, they had their dad in the band, who was their singer at the time, and they were the same way as me. They were my age, looking to branch out. You know, they had now and wanted to do their own thing. So when I came in, you know, that really projected me, I think, of the track that I needed to go, and it gave me a good mindset of what I needed to do myself and how to bring myself to another level, which was nice. And the same thing, you know, we played the same kind of places that I was playing with the other band, and it took me just to a different level of getting my name out there and being known, which was really nice. And those guys, they're still out there. They still play and stuff. I talk to them every once in a while. They're good dudes, great guys, still playing on the scene.
And how long ago was that when he was in that band?
Probably from 2016 to probably around COVID, 2020, around there. Once everything, started shutting down and we couldn't play anymore. That was the that was the sucky thing of being in a band. You do so long, and every weekend you're playing out, and that's your life, and all of a sudden, boom, everything stops, and you don't know what to do with yourself, and that was a rough couple of months.
What did you find? What did you find to take your time up during that time? Did you practice? Did
Pretty
you
much
do something else?
That would be all I would be doing. I worked actually at the time laying carpet so I did that during the time of COVID and just playing guitar. I'd be in the house just absolutely playing, be posting videos all the time on Facebook and stuff, and just trying to keep morale boosted up for everybody, and telling people, the scene's going to come back eventually once people are allowed to start going out again. Hopefully we all start getting to play out, and because everybody that I knew was going stir crazy, because music and playing in bands, that's pretty much all that I know how to do. As sad as that is to say, but it was a real kick in the teeth to not be able to go out and play it. But so I'd be like a teenager stuck at home, just playing guitar all the way through night and driving my neighbors crazy.
It sucked as a fan not being able to go see live music or go anywhere, for sure, as well.
Absolutely.
At least you took advantage of everybody being home and posting on social media, because that was a great time to grow on social media, because nobody could go anywhere or do anything. So.
Absolutely.
Had a captive audience.
Yeah, and even to a lot of the bigger bands too. You would see them doing live streams or putting a video together where each one of them are in a house and they're playing along together through their studios and stuff, which was really neat to see. And I think it really, when COVID ended, but when the live scene started coming back out, that really boosted morale of bringing people out again. I see emergence in my area, in the Pittsburgh area, of something that I haven't seen in 10, 15 years, when the scene started dying down a little bit. Now all of a sudden everybody's coming out again. Everybody wants to get out of their house and just have a good time, just be around people again. So COVID, I guess you could say, was a curse and a blessing to the band scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
You took advantage of the situation when you had it, doing the live streams and all the posting, and then when it ended, it
absolutely
catapulted. Awesome.
So how did you get the opportunity, how the opportunity come across to become a guitarist for Ted Poley from Danger, and that, I'm assuming that was after 2020 and COVID. Is that correct, or did you?
So from there, after that, I joined Leadfoot, and those guys, that's a band up here, and there's actually like 1 or 2 other Leadfoots out there. But the one that I joined,
we had a guest who was in a band called that as well, and I saw you post something about that, and I posted, and then I realized my mistake, and I was like, I feel stupid.
It's either that, or people would be like, did you play in a Led Zeppelin tribute or something like that? Like, no. But so I got in contact with those guys. They reached out to me. Same thing, they were looking for a guitar player and somebody who could sing, and this was pretty much right after COVID. The scenes are coming back, and I'm still with them too, and I've been with them for about 5 years, and really, that took me where I needed to be. We're playing to a lot bigger crowds. We're playing like bigger venues. XL, which is up here, which is a great place. We opened for Kicks. We played with Dirty Looks a few years ago. A couple of the great AC/DC tributes, and Black, all those guys. So that really put my name out onto the scene, and got the word out of who I am, and could really start showing off my talents to more of the world. So I want to say 2 or 3 years ago, we did a show with Noll, and from there, I've seen Ted a couple times. I think I seen him with Danger at M3 back in 2016. I think something that is. So I've seen him on and off a couple times, and met him, and through these shows with him again last year, we started reaching out and just getting to know each other as friends, which was neat. He only lives an hour away, so and my thing always was, if you ever meet a guitar player, if you ever meet somebody in those big type of bands, put your name out there to it. Like offer. If you ever need a fill-in or something like this, or you ever need a band to open up for you somewhere, take my card, take my name, remember this. And back in, I want to say November, I got a text message from Ted, and just one of those things, he reached out, hey brother, give me a call when you get a chance. And I figured, maybe he needed fill in somewhere, or he wanted us to play with him. And it turned out he needed a new guitar player, which was great. He when I first called him, he's like, show business is calling. And we talked for about a good 2 hours on about what he was looking for, what he wanted. And towards the end of the call, he's like, is this something that you need a few days to think about, or just get back to me? I'm like, absolutely not. I'm ready to do something like this, because obviously I grew up listening to the glam metal scene, all that kind of things. I've been a huge Danger fan for years. The first 2 albums are great. The stuff with Paul Lane is absolutely fantastic too. And once me and Ted started getting together, we realized, me and him really clicked. Our harmonies are spot on. That's one of the Danger songs that really need to stand out. Bruno Ravel was a great backup singer, and his harmonies always stood out. And even Andy Timmons too, as a guitar, was something that was, I've been listening to these songs for years, but once you start trying to play them, it gets a little bit intimidating. So you got to sit down and pound them into your brain and get them. Once we did that, we sat together with a full band and realized, hey, this is a great thing. It's gonna work. And the first show he asked me about, he's like, our first show is going to be the Whiskey A Go-Go in Los Angeles. Is that something you're ready for? I'm like, absolutely. That's been a dream of mine for years. And I got a lot of great stuff coming up with Ted. He's a great guy, a good person to be around, a really good friend. It's been an amazing ride with him so far. I got my name out to a lot of people, a lot of exposure. I've met a lot of great people since doing stuff with him, and I just hope the next couple of years with him are just going to be even better.
How do you balance being, supporting a legend like Ted, and then being the lead man, creating your own legend status right now for Leadfoot?
To be honest, it's tough. I really don't get a day off. I work a job. I during the week cooking, and like from Friday nights to Sunday night, to Sunday nights a lot of the time. It's I'm playing with Leadfoot here this night. I'm with Ted here. I'm doing acoustic by myself this night, and I'm one of those people that I have to stay busy doing it. If I stop, I start getting stirred. I go nuts. So it keeps me moving, keeps my mind working. It's a lot to balance everything together, because with Leadfoot, we play almost 52 weeks out of the year. Whew. And so now that I'm with Ted, I got to watch what I do here. I got to make sure everything's good here with this date and that date. But
scheduling becomes
in
much
the
more
end,
important.
Exactly. But in the end, I really look at it too as, getting myself out there with Ted will also bring more people out to see Leadfoot, which is a great too. And both bands have that great understanding. We all have a respect for each other for that. And I said, and we all said from the beginning, this would be a great thing to benefit each, because for me, that's what it's all about. You see so many local bands that turn it into a competition of they're trying to play here, trying to do this, and try to. I mean, when you get to a bigger scene like that, you realize that everybody's in it for the same. Everybody knows each other and just want the best out of each other and help each other, and that's absolutely what I love about playing out live these days. You get to meet so many great people, and you can benefit off of every person you meet.
Is there any chance that Leadfoot would open up for Ted Polly, or have you guys?
That was the question I was about to ask. Exact question. Yep.
Yeah. So actually, that's basically how it kind of came about. Me and Russ in Leadfoot, we did an acoustic set with Ted a few years ago, and that was kind of mine and Ted's relationship start, which was nice. And then last year we had both bands together. Ted actually did one set, and then we finished out the night with our usual 3-hour show, which was great for a private gig. And and I mean, from there, I mean, we just kind of started talking, and if me are playing around in PA somewhere, absolutely. I mean, that's going to be the case of me having to do double duty, which is a very long night, but a lot of Ted's fans around the Pennsylvania area especially are Leadfoot fans too, so they kind of intertwine, so it really kind of help each other out, which I love.
That's awesome.
Now
absolutely.
It seems like you're starting to see well, congratulations on it, some newfound success with everything that you got going on with both bands.
Thank you.
What do you have now going on that you would like to promote? You got something a project in particular, album, something coming out soon or already out? Try and get the numbers up.
So right now my main focus is with Ted. Next Saturday we leave to do the Monsters of Rock cruise out of Miami, and that's been a dream of mine for years, just to be on that cruise, because there's so many great bands. You have 40 odd bands that are on a cruise ship. Absolutely. When we got the word we were doing it, man, and I kind of went nuts. I kind of went jumping around my house, just freaking out about the whole thing. We're playing with
50 bands.
Black Labels. Exactly. Black Label Society, Night Ranger, The Darkness, Heaven's Edge, God, Loudness. There's so many bands. And the cool thing is Ted knows everybody.
Quiet Riot.
Absolutely.
It's insane.
Yeah, Nelson's on there. And
Master
Ted, they call Ted the captain on the ship. Yeah, absolutely. And
how did he get that, I wonder? How did he get that nickname?
The captain, because he's that guy on the ship that will talk to every single person. He's like, there's some of the bigger guys that like to stay in their cabin. It's their vacation. Basically, you get to play 2 shows on the ship, and the rest of it is just a vacation. But Ted's that guy that's out there that talks to every single person that wants to talk to him. So they kind of just labeled him as the captain of the ship. And with everything we do, it's Captain Ted this, Captain Ted that. And we're doing Captain Ted Poley treasure hunt, where they're doing a bunch of giveaways on the ship. Captain Ted's naughty beach party we're doing later in the cruise. And so it's really going to be neat to be able to tag around with him and see just see how bombarded he gets with everybody and everything. But it's absolutely going to be a good time. And
oh, go ahead. No.
But yeah, that's pretty much our main focus for right now. I I got together with Ted earlier today. We had to go over a few things for rehearsals and make sure everything's up to date with passports and everything to go and whatnot. And it's going to be, it's an amazing opportunity to be on that ship and just be able to pal around with all these guys. You know, just to be on a boat with Zach Wild, in my mind, is a legendary status.
That is pretty
That should be
neat.
very neat.
So you're on social media quite a bit. Which platform would you say has shown you the most success so far, or helped grow your sound?
Pretty much
Go ahead.
Pretty much my Facebook. I'd say, you know, I do my Instagram and stuff like that, and try to keep Twitter updated too. But I mean, through
Twitter.
Facebook, it seemed, yeah. But through Facebook, it seemed, especially once I joined Ted, you know, I seen a surgence of friend requests from people I never met that they're fans of Ted and all these cool things and stuff. And you know, I went from maybe getting 65 likes on something to 200 to 300 likes on post now, which is really neat. And it's really neat to connect with people that you've never met and get to see their stories. You know, I've had people all about their stories of the first time they seen danger, all these kind of cool things, and just to be a part of that is really neat. I mean, even there's a guy. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, we're seeing the younger generation starting to go back and
Embrace these older bands.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Not saying that you're an older band, but you know, Dangers and some other bands, but we're seeing that kind of resurgence.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny. I was thinking about that today. I have, you know, a lot of these older bands like that. You know, that was before my time. I was only born in '92, so most of these bands were already big and huge on the scene by that time. Now a lot of those bands are getting guys my age on guitar and stuff because, you know, it's either something happens to a member, somebody gets sick, but somebody like me, you know, I'm for this kind of thing. You know, this is absolutely what I love to do. And, you know, I have a friend, Sammy, he's my age, he's playing with the Goo Goo Dolls now. Sebastian Bach, his guitar player, I think he's 24, 25 years old. And I think it really comes from, you know, nowadays in media, you know, I wish I could have grew up in the time where it was just vinyl, all that kind of thing. But you have so much at your fingertips now. It's so much more of an advantage to these guys that are learning guitar and learning how to sing or play and do anything, that everything that they need is at their fingertips. And it just, you know, I've seen so many people that are even younger than me that are surpassing so many great guitar players because that's all they have and that's all they do is just sit at night and look at tabs or like what I did with the Danger stuff. I'd listen to these albums probably 300-400 times just trying to learn these songs, and it's, you know, everything's right at your fingertips. You know, oh, what's this part? You know, and you can break everything down now, which is really neat. So it's really neat to see a lot of the younger guys get into that kind of thing, because while it seemed that really wasn't the case anymore. And once I got to a certain point, it's like, oh my God, there's a whole new world of these bands just coming back into the light. You know, a lot of people used to say hair metal, glam metal is a dead scene, but right now it's stronger than everything. You know, festivals that they're doing, they're selling out these festivals. They're playing some of the biggest places, especially, you know, Europe. Europe's fantastic for that kind of thing. They love it over, and it makes my heart happy to see that all these guys are getting a second wind to themselves and getting out to go have fun again and going on tour, and it's really.
Now, what do you think about AI in music? Because you're having that as a new thing.
That just, for me, I think that just takes away creativity. You know, a lot of, I have respect for a lot of different genres, all that kind of thing. You know, people who can people who can actually sit down on a computer and actually make music through their studio, I think is phenomenal. But you see, even on Spotify and stuff, they're putting out this AI music, and it's getting plays and views that these people are getting overlooked. That people putting their time into to create their craft and not getting anything out of it. I think that's a ridiculous thing that they. I mean, what are you gonna do? But that they even allow that sort of thing. You know, it for me, it's all about the creativity of things and people's mindsets of how they come up with something, and the fact that you can just type anything that you want to make now and it'll automatically make it for you is ridiculous. You know, I'm very against that kind of thing. But you know, it takes how does that say? It takes a village to change a world. So, you know, hopefully one to see something different out of that, which would be nice.
Yeah. It's been a weird thing, and it's only getting weirder. And that's in all industries, not just music.
Yeah,
it's creeping in.
absolutely. Because even you see a lot of people making posters, concert posters out of it and stuff. And
Yeah.
you know, I know plenty of people that are in digital media that do that thing, and it's take away their job. And I think that absolutely sucks.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people.
There we go. Absolutely. It just takes away.
It's hurt me in engineering. It's hurt me in digital marketing.
Yeah,
it's hurt me in pretty much everything, because other than making the music, it does everything else for the artist.
Right.
At this point.
Well, it can make the music too.
Exactly.
Well, that too, but I
Yeah.
mean, even artists that are making the music themselves are still using AI for everything else.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. I think
It's so easy.
it's taking jobs away from people. Even up here, they just I have a golf course that's a championship golf course up here. They just sold it 2 or 3 weeks ago to put an AI data center in. It's one of the nicest golf courses around in the state, and now they're just ruining it with this kind of thing, and people are complaining about the noise that it's going to bring and all kind of things. It's just ridiculous.
That sucks to hear. You had all that nice green space and a place for people to go and enjoy, and now it's going to be
absolutely.
That sucks.
That was I played in high school, and that was one of our best courses to go. It was one of the harder to play, but yeah, to see it go for something like that, where you had a lot of great things. They'd have a lot of banquets and weddings and all kind of things, and for them to just kind of cheap out and take the money and run with it, and it's kind of disheartening. But you know, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Some people get that money offer, and they'll do whatever.
Yep.
This is true.
When did you first get introduced to Kiss?
Oh, geez. I want to say 95. I mean, I was pretty young yet, but I remember Unplugged airing on MTV, and I mean, they weren't makeup yet at that point again for the reunion tour, but I remember, you know, the 6 foot tall statues that they had of them behind with the makeup on, and I thought, oh God, you know, what's that? That's pretty cool. Like, these guys look like superheroes. That's pretty neat. So from there, I kind of started getting into them a little bit. And funny story, when the reunion tour came around here, my mom and dad went, and they didn't take me with. You know, to this day, I'm still kind of pissed off about that. You know, we thought maybe you wouldn't have enjoyed it or something like that. Like, are you nuts? Like in the original 4,
Wow.
like that would have been a dream come true.
You must have been a bad kid.
From there,
they wanted to go on a date night.
Yeah, right, exactly. You know, but it's funny. My mom's name is Beth, and when they went into the encore, my dad used to be that guy of, you know, let's get out of here early so we can beat the traffic. And they were walking through the parking lot back to the car, and they started playing Beth, my mom started crying, and I always say now, like, see, that's what you get for not taking me with. Like, come on now.
Well, instant karma.
But I mean, if you could see the room around me right now, it's Kiss this, Kiss that. I have Kiss guitars on the wall. I have the 70s dolls sitting behind me, just about everything. God,
Kiss was the first band that
even-
I was introduced to. Oh wow!
even the boots.
man.
No, absolutely.
Wow.
God,
My
I
dad's
have cones
brothers.
upstairs.
My dad's brothers introduced me to Kiss in 1977 or so. For my birthday, I was in like
Yeah,
second grade. I got Love Gun, and
yeah,
Kiss Alive
absolutely.
2 was out, and yeah, they were like superheroes. Did you see the Kiss
Yeah, they
Meets
were
the
on
Phantom
at
movie?
that point. They were on top of the world. Oh, I have 3 different versions of it, and
yeah.
it's funny that was like a major flop for them back then. They hated
Yeah.
it, but now like as fans,
It's a
it's
cult
such
classic.
a cult classic. Like you watch
Yeah.
stuff, and it's so cheesy to see it sometimes, but it's one of those great things that all the fans absolutely love.
I have it on
You know,
Laserdisc.
even oh, Get Out. Oh, that's cool. See,
Yeah.
that's something I gotta find. I have not found the Laserdisc version of it yet, so that'll be in my collection one of these days.
Now,
Did you
Kiss
ever get
make
to,
a
Did you ever
comic?
get to see him in the 70s?
I have
Yeah.
never seen
Yep,
Kiss live.
Oh, Get Out. Oh man.
No, it's one of the
Oh,
bands
God.
I haven't seen live.
Yeah,
There's a bunch that I haven't seen. Iron Maiden was one of them, but I
Yeah.
kicked that off my list not too long ago. But
Oh,
yeah,
there you
that was
go.
one of the ones I didn't get to see.
Yeah. Back to yours there. Yeah, 77, 78, they came out with the comic book. And you know, they all went into a thing and took their blood and put it in the red ink. So a lot of those pressings of it had their actual blood in it. And you know, they say today you take that and you can clone another Paul Stanley, another Gene Simmons, something which would be something on the world to have another Gene Simmons around.
I think he might have cloned himself.
Yeah, I could see it. I could see it happening.
Yep.
He's
Yep.
I actually worked for Gene back in 2019 when he was doing the vaults. He had the Gene Simmons vault experience where you'd pay like $2,000 and you would get a safe, this giant safe, and it would contain 7 hours of music, all this thing. And me and we were part of the photography team, and he's another worldly being when he walks into a room. You know, he stands 6'4", and his presence, like he don't even have to say a word. His presence, you're just whelmed with it. But actually a really, really nice guy to be around. Gives you a lot of life lessons. You kind of have to know how to take him when he talks to you. He's very, very witty about a lot of things. But that was an absolutely cool experience to him. But I mean, I've seen the band probably a good, I want to say 10 or 11 times, all the way up until the third to last show before the end of the road. The final show was really neat.
Is his tongue really that long?
Yeah, and yeah, oh god, yeah, it's ridiculous. He can lick his own chest with that thing. It's so good to see when
maybe
he sticks
something
it out.
else. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. Even somewhere around here, I have. I don't even know where it would be right now, but I have a towel that I caught from him, where he goes up in the rafters during his bass solo and wipes his face down with the blood and everything. And my phone's sticking up, trying to capture him doing this, and I move my phone, and this towel lands right on my face, just covered in fake blood makeup. And I took it home. It's in a box around here somewhere. A little sentimental kind of thing.
That's cool. Well, we've reached that time of the show.
Absolutely.
It's a special segment of Fresh's favorite part of the show. Play the thing.
It's your favorite part of the show. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. Just give me the first thing that comes to your mind. 1-2 sentence answers are great.
Okay.
If you had to describe your sound as a weapon or a tool, what would it be and why?
A machine gun, because yeah, God, because I come from listening to an era of guitar players where the guitar was the biggest thing, and the second you heard it, it was like a gun going off in your face. You blown away. So that's what I kind of always strive to find in my sound, and be just a jump.
Nice. Do you have a go-to ritual or habit that helps you get in the zone before a show or a recording?
Not really. I want to say, a lot of guys kind of have that one thing that they do, but I just I like to go back and relax. I get there pretty early before shows, set my stuff up so I don't have to be, running around do this stage. So pretty much that little bit of relaxation time is my little zen of getting in the space. We'll usually do a shot of fall or a Jaeger. So actually, maybe that might be my
Your ritual.
my ritual. Yeah, it gets you a little bit of that extrovert out of you. You get a little bit more talkative and a little bit more out there, so it helps your energy and stuff.
Nice. What's a lesson that you've learned about the industry that you wish you knew earlier in your career?
Probably would have to be, I think when I was younger, you kind of wanted to be on top of the world with this kind of thing, and be the best at that you can be. A long time to, I think, realize that you never stop learning. I don't think you'll never be the best at something. You're going to learn something new every single time, no matter what it is you're doing. And even taking criticism well. That's one thing that I see a lot of guys. It really crushes a lot of people if they don't take criticism the right way. Like if somebody tells play it like this or do something like this, and it can be, but also to me that's a learning curve of, all right, well, what can I do to make this better? What can I do to sound better? And no matter how long for, I think that's one big thing that I think the younger people need to really look at is take that advice, because you never know where it's going to get you, and never know how far you're going to get in life because of it, and it's going to make you a better person in the long run.
Cool. What's one genre or musical style that you'd like to experiment with?
Oh, buddy. Oh.
Don't say
funny.
country. Don't say country.
No, that's a tough one. That's a tough one for me. I don't think I could dabble into that, but probably actually, God, if I could start a funk fusion band, just like something that would just play out at clubs, that would be so much fun to do. That's even just picking up a bass and learning how to slap a bass. God, that would just be so. Just have fun with a bunch of dudes and just go out and play. So I think that kind of genre would really be it, or the disco era, even to like the newer sound. Like I like a lot of newer bands too. Even I don't want to say like the hardcore bands, but like All That Remains, those kind of bands. Like I'd love to dabble in that kind of thing too one day, and maybe try that out. But yeah, the funk fusion band would definitely have to be the one.
Cool. If someone made a movie about your life, what would the theme song be?
Oh God, that's a really good question. Christopher Cross, Ride Like the Wind.
Cool.
Absolutely would be Ride Like the Wind.
How does your approach to music reflect the way you live your life outside of music?
It makes me more of a people person, I want to say. A lot of people, especially in the more local circuits, you know, they have their get-ups that they wear on stage and stuff, and then they're a totally different person. Like, you know, when they go to work or this other thing, you know, this is the kind of stuff that I wear on stage and that I wear on a regular basis too. So I think it really boosted my confidence a lot in my personal life to actually go out and kind of stand a little bit taller and be more of an outgoing, extroverted kind of person. Because if it wasn't for that, you know, I'd be stuck in my house just kind of keeping to myself and whatnot.
Nice. What would you say is the most surreal experience that you've had since you started making music?
Playing with Ted. Yeah, that's something even as a kid, you know, I dreamed about that. I've always wanted to be in this spot, but you know, you have your thoughts in your mind that sometimes, you know, all right, well, maybe it won't come to that point, you know, I'll just keep living until I can't do it no more or something. But I got to that, you know, a lot of the guys that I looked up to as heroes are just regular people, and some of the nice world that I have ever met. And to me, that really brought a joy into my life to realize how real things are in the world, that everybody's just out doing the same exact things and they're just regular people. You know, it's okay to get starstruck, but they're just everyday same thing. Yeah, the katana. That's cool.
He's getting ready to commit Harry Carey.
And the
live.
The final and cliche question: if you could work with any artist, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Randy Rhoads, absolutely, Randy Rhoads. You know, that's if I can show it here. I have his guitar, his Gibson on my arm. You know, I have D off of Blizzard of Owen. That's the main why I do this. The main reason why I'm a guitar player was because of him. You know, if he wouldn't have passed away in '82, you know, I'd love to be able to see where he would be at today, because he was only in that pro circuit for 2 years. And God, he was a monster.
Left a mark.
Monster player, and I would just absolutely, and just God, just be, if I could have been able to sit down and just pick his brain for 5 minutes, that'd be the dream come true. That would be my one person that I think, if I ever would have had that chance, that would have been the guy, because he was just such a, you know, he wasn't a superstar. He was a humble guy. He just loved playing, and that's how I take the approach to it. You know, he didn't look at himself as the biggest thing in the world. He just.
What was it like then when you kind of stepped in and played his stuff for the Ozzy tribute that I saw you do?
Oh, with the Penny Pipeline, that was actually really cool, because, you know, I've been playing those songs for years. Those are the songs that I play in my house all the time, and just to kind of do something like that for his and Ozzy's legacy, because that was right after Ozzy passed away, and they contacted me about it and said, you know, would you like to come up and play a couple songs and pick which songs you want to do? And I'm like, obviously it's going to be Rant songs. So that was very cool to do. And honestly, down the line, I'd love to do some kind of Ozzy tribute like that. Just get to kind of step into that role and just bring life to those songs again and play them, because they're fun. They're great songs. You know, everybody knows them. And
with the straight long blonde hair, you almost could look like
that
him.
was. I get it a lot. That's
Right.
I have one of my stage shirts polka dots. So everybody's always like, "Oh, Randy Rhodes this." And like, yeah, that's that's where my inspiration came from. So I'll take that anytime I got that. Obviously I don't think I'll ever come close to what he was as a player, but God, if I could just kind of step into that role, I love that. So thank you for that compliment.
Mm-hmm. Is there a favorite song of the Danger stuff that you just absolutely love playing live?
Beat the Bullet off of the Screw It record. That's probably my top five favorite songs of all time. And Ted wasn't actually it when I came into the band, and that was my kind of make it or break it to him. I said, I will do this as long as we can play Beat the Bullet, because that's such a great song. God, it has so much energy to it, and the message kind of behind it too is, there comes a time when a man's got to draw the line, and and I tell him it's the only song that I want to play every single time that we play somewhere.
Is there a new Ted Polly album that will be coming out soon? Because I think the last one was like 2016. Was it like 10 years ago?
Yeah, we talked about it. I mean, right now with the schedule that we have of things, we're doing a bunch of festivals this year. We're playing Monster on the Mountain in Tennessee in August. We're just kind of focusing on that. But I think eventually me and him are probably going to sit down and start working on something like that, which I think would be really great, because he has a lot of energy and a lot of things to say. So I think a lot of people really benefit from a new album from him, which would be great.
Yeah, because his voice is amazing still.
And where's that show in Tennessee? I'm assuming
Absolutely.
Pigeon Forge or Gatlinburg.
Gatlinburg, Tennessee. August 23rd to the 25th, I believe. It's 3 days. I think Brett Michaels is there, Rick's Field, all the big 80s guys are pretty much there, and that's going to be a really good time too.
Pro tip from a local for those out there who's going to be buying tickets or planning on coming to Gatlinburg during that week. That is a very busy week. That is a very big tourist area, so make sure you book your hotel and accommodations very early. Gatlinburg is a very small town. It's like the smallest little town, but has a booming entertainment population, tourism, all that, and a beautiful area. But yeah. Imagine being packed in a tiny little can of a town, and book early. Trust me, book early.
Because I think Jeep Week is also that same weekend in Gatlinburg too. You're gonna have all those Jeepers there and stuff.
Oh, bro, you better have a helicopter.
It's just gonna be ridiculous.
What are the Black Bears gonna do?
Oh, the Black Bears don't care. Black Bears just walk down the street.
Yeah.
Just don't feed them.
See those videos where they're just coming down the center of the street, and they don't give a crap about nothing.
Well, I mean,
it's like the Gators in Florida.
Got
you
those
don't feed
cocaine bears out there.
Yeah, we got cocaine bears. And meth wolves. They get into the drug houses and trailers and cabins and eat all the drugs. They do. They do, and they got one bear while I was living in Gatlinburg. He broke into the candy store, and he ate all the candy, a lot of the candy, and then he passed out on the floor for like 24 hours because he ate so much candy.
I'm going to start following around these bears. They sound like they know how to have a good time.
Well, yeah, they do.
Cocaine and candy, baby.
Cocaine candy.
Right up my alley.
Another pro tip. Do not leave food, fast food, any type of food in your car while you're in those mountains in Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge, because the bears will punch your window open.
They'll break right in. They'll break your window.
They'll be you'll come out and they'll be sitting in the front seat just eating a sandwich. There's been so many pictures and videos been taken by locals that I know, that I've personally seen bears myself do this crazy stuff. So yeah, those are the biggest pro tips I got for y'all at being from East Tennessee is book early and watch the bears. No food
Excellent
around.
tips.
'Cause- yeah. Well, one tourist, she tried to go feed a bear a loaf of bread, and the bear ripped her arm off. He didn't mean to. He was just trying to get the
Oh
bread.
God.
But
He
they
was
don't
trying to
know
eat
the
the bread?
strength.
Yeah.
Yes, they just accidentally ripped her arm off trying to snatch the bread. They're not that friendly. Don't-
FAFO.
Well, it's not
Yeah.
not friendly. It's just not safe, right? Like
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
danger,
They're-
danger.
they're
No pun
wild.
Oh
intended.
man.
They're wild
Danger.
animals. Yeah, exactly. You are in the mountains when you're in Gatlinburg. One wrong turn up there is literally like the movie Wrong Turn.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
it's
right.
about there.
Yeah. I actually I have a funny Tennessee story. When I moved to Texas, I drove down and somewhere, oh God, somewhere between Nashville and Memphis. I was in the middle of nowhere. I stopped to get gas, and I ended up forgetting to put my gas cap back in the car and on the tank, and my light came on telling me, you know, there's air getting into your gas tank. Oh man, what am I gonna do? So I stopped at this little rickety gas station in the middle of nowhere, and up here where I'm at in PA, we say "yous" instead of "y'all." Like, hey, you. And I walked into this gas station and I said to the guy, I said, hey, you know, have any kind of gas caps? And he goes, what do you mean by used? Like a used gas cap? Like, no, used. He's like, no, we don't got nothing used in here. And I'm like, oh man, y'all have any gas caps? And he's like, oh no, you got to go down the road for something like that.
Yeah, that's
I wonder
hilarious.
what he's probably still sitting there.
Yeah. Oh,
But
yeah,
that's a beautiful area though. Like
It is
if I could have a house up mountain somewhere, that was one of the nicest drives that I went through, was probably Tennessee.
yeah. It's different. There's actually 3 different biomes in Tennessee, because where Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge is Appalachians, Nashville's a plateau, and Memphis is like kind
Yeah,
of flat.
absolutely.
So yeah,
Yeah.
you get some interesting stuff in
And then
Tennessee.
once you cross into Arkansas, it's like night and day. You know, you have these nice roads coming through Tennessee, and then you hit that Arkansas state line, and you're hitting potholes the entire way through the state.
I don't know. Our Tennessee roads aren't as great anymore.
I think I go around Arkansas.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a real wrong turn state right there. Never know what them hills have. You might have more than eyes.
The hills have stuff.
The hills have stuff. Unsolicited stuff. Well, Trent, it was a pleasure having you on tonight's show. It was a great interview.
No, absolutely. Thank you guys.
Before you go, tell everybody where they can find you at.
You can find me on Facebook under Trent Noll, under Ted Poley's page. I'm on there too. Instagram, Trent OIG through there. So just definitely check me out. And if you're in the area anytime that we're playing somewhere, definitely come check out the band. And if you're ever up in PA, come check out Leadfoot, because we're always playing somewhere and we always like to have a good time. We're a great party band. And so hopefully I'll see you guys out there somewhere. So I know you're in Florida, right? I'll be down there and next
West
week.
Palm.
My dad actually lives in Villages. Oh, cool. There you go. Yeah, my dad lives in the Villages, and he absolutely loves it down there. Golfs every single day. And so that'll be my area that I'll be down in.
I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. I'm from Ohio, and this is the place. This is paradise for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I seen a gator jump in the pool back there or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, see, if I want something like that, I got to use a green screen, right? Like,
I had a turtle in there today I had to take out.
Oh man, the problems, the Florida problems.
One got ran over in the street this morning too. Crazy. I rescued one, and one got run over in the front yard on the way to school this morning.
There's a balance.
Oh man.
There's a balance, as Thanos said.
The yin and the yang, bro.
Yep. The circle of life.
That's it, buddy.
Well, everybody, this has been Drip Music X. Reminder: those swords, when I pull those out, is for you trolls in the comments.
We have trolls.
Have a good night, boys.